Good morning and welcome to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's only local morning show, giving you exclusive access into people, businesses, and events in your community. I'm your host, Maddie Mushkin, and we are live daily weekdays at 9:30. Before we dive into today's show, every week we highlight someone, an educator, student, business, or organization from our Greater West Bloomfield community, going above and beyond. If you would like to submit an entry for someone, you can scan the QR code on the screen, fill out the Google form with the person's name, their contact information, and reasons they should be recognized for the person of the week. We're now going to dive into our community events, what's going on in our Greater West Bloomfield community. We're going to start off with the virtual events that the West Bloomfield Township Public Library offers there for a variety of interactive events for all ages. Their last event this week is their adult program titled How Could This Happen? The Escalation of Hate During the Holocaust. Presented by the Holocaust Memorial Center. During this virtual program, they will dive deep into the Holocaust and how years of discrimination and hatred culminated in Europe. In this presentation, they'll be using artifacts and victim survivor perspectives to discuss the escalation of hate from biased attitudes to biased motivation violence during the Holocaust. If you would like to register for this event, you can do so by going to the West Bloomfield Township Public Library website in their events calendar page and register by clicking on the event. The next event is our West Bloomfield Parks. The West Bloomfield Parks is working with the West Bloomfield Diversity Task Force to bring a new free event to celebrate Black History Month. The Black History 101 Museum is an event for all ages on Saturday, February 5th from noon until 3 p.m. at the library. Founded by Dr. Khalid Al-Hakim, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum is an award-winning collection of original artifacts of Black memorabilia dating from the transatlantic slave trade era and spanning into current hip-hop culture. They'll have a special lecture and exhibition at 10 a.m. They also have a few other events that we will be talking to Kelly Hyer about this today. They in February have a Love Yourself Wellness While Black event ages 16 and up on Saturday, February 12th from 9 until 11:30 at the Connect in Orchard Mall. Here you can celebrate both Black History and Heart Health Month with an interactive event that will fuel your heart, mind, and soul. They have a doctor's roundtable discussion as well as a discussion on heart disease, hypertension, and nutrition. After that, they have free trials of yoga, Zumba, and dance lessons there. On Saturday, February 26th, they have 10 to 2 p.m. at Orchard Mall Black Expo. This is a free community celebration of Black history featuring live music, demos, and displays to celebrate Black history. Our next event is the Sylvan Lake Game Night. This event is perfect if you're looking for something fun to do this winter. Whether you go alone or with friends, the Sylvan Lake Game Nights are a great way to socialize safely with your neighbors and friends. Sylvan Lake Game Nights take place every Wednesday when there is not a Sylvan Lake board meeting in the community center. Game night starts at 5:30 and will go to about 9 p.m. at the community center. This event is open to all Sylvan Lake residents, and you're welcome to bring family and friends. If you have an event you would like us to feature, you can send us a message on our social media pages at Civic Center TV 15 and Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. Coming up, I'll be talking with Kelly Hyer, Recreation Superintendent for West Bloomfield Parks and Rec. But before that, we are joined by Captain Gary Proctor. He is the EMS coordinator for West Bloomfield Fire Department. We're here to talk about the CPR training courses that they offer for residents here in West Bloomfield. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, Gary.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Captain Proctor, could you start off with telling us a little bit about your role in the West Bloomfield Fire Department and what it means to be both a captain and an EMS coordinator?
So my job as the EMS captain is to be responsible for everything EMS related within the township and the fire department. That includes the responsibility of overseeing the 90 plus paramedics we have on the department, our fleet of ALS ambulances, all of our medical supplies, things like that. Being the EMS coordinator, a portion of it, I have to deal with the county and the state, the different regulations, the protocols that we operate under, and being involved in that, making sure we're always up to date and doing everything correctly.
And Captain Proctor, starting on February 7th from 6 to 9:30, your team is offering CPR and first aid training courses. This is open to the public on a regular basis. Could you start off by telling us a little bit about those training courses and how one would register for those?
Yeah, so registration is very easy. You just go to the township website and under the government drop down, look for the fire department tab. And then when that page opens up, the CPR classes tab will be right there on the left. And it's a easy click online to register for the class. Then you come into the department, pay your fee, you get your textbook and that. So that's the registration process. We do offer the classes the first Monday of every other month, starting in February. And the courses are open to anybody in the public. They are $30 per person, and that includes your textbook and your card when you're completed. And we offer the what's called the Heart Saver CPR AED, and occasionally we'll offer the first aid portion of that as well. This is a great class for anybody in the public. It's even good for certain job requirements as well. There are certain occupations where you have to have CPR training, and this meets some of those requirements. So, and again, we do that every other month, and we're starting in February.
And then what types of things will the people that register for these training courses learn, whether that's obviously CPR, but in those first aid courses, what types of things will your team teach them?
So it's really basic first aid stuff, controlling of bleeding, along with everything that you learn in CPR, which includes the use of the AED and what to do if someone stops breathing. Basic splinting techniques, how to use an EpiPen. We also teach you how to use Narcan as well. With the opioid epidemic, that's become very prevalent in a lot of first aid trainings. And we also teach you a little bit about what to do for certain environmental emergencies, poisonings, overdoses, and things like that.
And you guys mentioned talking about the 4 major emergencies: heart attack, stroke, cardiac arrest, and foreign body airway obstruction. Could you give us a little bit of advice and maybe some insight into what types of things that we can look out for as a public? If someone is interested also in registering for these classes, they can obviously do so by going through the West Bloomfield Fire Department page. But as of now, could you give us a little bit of advice in looking for those 4 major emergencies?
Yeah, certainly. So somebody who's having a heart attack, a lot of times the classic sign is you'll see them kind of clutch their chest a little bit. They'll bring that hand up over the portion where their heart is at. Some people occasionally will confuse that with choking, where people may bring their hands up to their throat. But that's typically it. Other things to look for with someone having a heart attack is they've gotten really sweaty. All of a sudden, they're complaining of crushing chest pain. They may describe it like someone is standing on their chest. Foreign body airway obstruction, again, you'll see that they typically will reach up like they're holding their throat, like they're indicating that they're choking. You may not hear any movement of air. They may be coughing really hard as well. The stroke one in that is, again, another one that can be kind of subtle sometimes, but that one is a sudden noticing of drooping of the face, one side or the other, maybe some one-sided weakness, as well as slurred speech. So those are the pretty obvious ones that people can watch for. And then the best advice for any of those is call 911 right away so that we can get them to definitive care.
Captain Proctor, there can also be registration for private classes if someone has a large group, if they want to get together with their subdivision, religious organization, or professional offices. Can you tell us how one would go about setting up those private training courses for their large group?
Absolutely. So that's pretty easy. You just call the office here and you ask for Amy Rusnowski. She's the coordinator for scheduling all of our classes, and she'll walk you through the process of scheduling a class, what the fee schedule is, and lining up instructors for that.
As we wrap up here, Captain Proctor, is there anything else you would like to share with the audience, whether that's about the EMS, CPR training courses, or anything else going on in the fire department?
So as always, we really do appreciate the support from the community as a whole. I think we offer a very great service here, and we appreciate, again, the support that the community gives us. We're always happy and always here to answer questions anybody may have. And we love hearing stories when people have a very positive experience and a great outcome after we've seen them.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy morning and joining us, Captain Proctor.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Once again, I was joined by Captain Gary Proctor. He's the EMS coordinator for the West Bloomfield Fire Department. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, I will be talking with Hyer, Recreation Superintendent for West Bloomfield Parks and Rec, about their events celebrating Black History Month in February. So don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll talk with Kelly.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschin. It is now time to talk with Hyer. She's the Recreation Superintendent for West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation. Good morning, Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Kelly, as we head into February, we are looking to celebrate Black History Month. Could you tell us a little bit about the events that West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation are hosting to celebrate Black History Month?
Would love to. So we have partnered up with community members, Township Hall, and the West Bloomfield Library to create a diversity task force. And this task force has plans 4 events for the month of February. And so can I talk about all 4?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. So the first one is Saturday, February 5th, and there's 2 parts to this. It is a Black History mobile museum. And if you would like just to walk through the museum, it's going to be set up at the library from noon to 3 p.m. on Saturday, February 5th. If you would like an extra educational component, we have a special lecture. There's only a few spots left, and that will start at at 10 a.m. to noon. And so that is going to be, again, at the West Bloomfield Library. And we're so fortunate to have this connection right here in Detroit area, because he takes the mobile museum across the country, and it's extra special because we're so close to this resource. Okay, the next one up is going to be our events. It is health focus. It is at Connect, and that is going to be Saturday, February 12th, and that is a Love Yourself Wellness Well Black event. And we're encouraging people to pre-register because it's indoors, a little bit smaller space. And this is going to be an interactive event where you're going to be sitting down hearing from some health experts. And the other component is going to be an active component where you're going to be able to have a demonstration in Zumba, a demonstration in hustle, as well as yoga. And then you're going to leave with a smoothie treat. So that is on Saturday, February 12th at Connect. Pre-register if you can. It starts at 9 a.m. And the lineup of speakers is dynamic. We have all of their bios on our website. So you're in for a special treat if you are able to come to that one. We have a virtual event on Wednesday, February 16th, and that is with Major Bill Burnett and of the Tuskegee Airmen, again, a local resource. And if you have not heard Bill speak, he is a really great storyteller. He will captivate you. And we have the Zoom recording available from our last year's virtual Tuskegee Airmen talk, but he's back live. So pre-register and you'll get the Zoom link sent to your email. And then lastly, at Orchard Mall, in the center of Orchard Mall, on Saturday, February 26th, that is the Black Expo. And again, this is a creation by the Diversity Task Force. And it's a really cool event that's coming together. And if you've ever been to an expo before, the first thing is you need a great MC and music. And so we have one of our task force members is going to be emceeing that, as well as a local DJ. So it's going to be high energy interactive there. We're hoping to have a local performance. I won't give details just yet. We're finalizing those details of a live band. And then lastly, our booths. Right now we have 10 vendors signed up, and we're hoping to get a few more, and that is free from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing those with us. Some great events here in February. You talked, Kelly, about the West Bloomfield Diversity Task Force. West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation is a member for that. Could you explain a little bit more about the Diversity Task Force and how they're working to create an environment of inclusion here in West Bloomfield?
Oh, that'd be great. And then before I go into it, I do have a little promo item that we created, and it features our newly designed logo. So if you do sign up and pre-register for any of those events that I just spoke about, your family will receive a reusable bag here with the cool task force logo on it. But this was an idea that one of our park commissioners, Vincent Kirkwood, came up with last year and approached our department and said, what are we doing for to work on that and to work towards diversity, equity, inclusion, and simultaneously what programming do we have for Black History Month? And so the idea just steamrolled, and we put out a survey to the community, and we had people step forward to join a task force. So last year, it was all focused on Black History Month planning, and of course, we were in a different place with the pandemic, and we did all virtual programs. And it was really neat to see these ideas come forward and come to fruition, and just the community gelling together. So we said, well, let's not stop the work there. And the idea was, can we broaden what we're focusing on to be a diversity task force? And that happened. The task force members reached out to even more people in the community and just in their neighborhoods, their local networks, church, school. And we've had even more people step forward. We also picked up Sonia James from the West Bloomfield School District, and she was just first hired to work on DEI for the district. So that is a great connection. We've connected with the Juneteenth committee that is focusing on West Bloomfield Juneteenth event. And then we've had just people coming in all directions, approaching us like, hey, we want to join forces with you, or do you know what work we're doing in this part of West Bloomfield? So it's been a great collaboration in just meeting new people and hearing all the great work that's happening in the pockets of West Bloomfield, and we're hoping to bring that together.
In addition to those events to celebrate Black History Month, Kelly, you also have some fun winter events that West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation will be holding in the winter months that we have here. Would you like to talk about those snowshoeing events, as well as some of those upcoming February programs?
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was so excited when we were getting snow on Monday, knowing we'd be talking today, but unfortunately there's still not enough snow for snowshoeing. So stay tuned for that. We do have rentals as soon as we get a few more inches and the temperatures stay cold enough that you can come in and rent snowshoes on your own and use the Civic Center Trail with the snowshoes. And so information is more available online. We also have some snowshoe hikes planned, but knowing that where we are in Michigan, we do plan always that if there's not snowshoeing capability, we will do a hike in place of that. And then of course we have some other pop-up events kind of plans that if we have some more snow, we'll activate those. But what reminds me of the month of February, not only is snow and Black History Month, but the Valentine's Day and what events we have going on there. So I will mention real quick before we leave that we do have some openings at our Valentine's luncheon, and that is right on Valentine's Day for our seniors. So if you're 50 or older, there's still some spots. I checked this morning, and registration is open until the week before, and that is a luncheon at noon at Connect. So we love getting people together for holidays, and it's a perfect way to spend your day with some friends here in West Bloomfield.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, Kelly, and sharing some of those fun events that you guys have planned this winter.
Yeah, if you guys need more information, reach out, wbparks.org, and we have all of our events posted either on our online registration, or we do have some dedicated event pages of where all those details are. But if you can't find us there, call us. We'll get you going in the right direction.
Thank you again for joining us, Kelly.
Okay, bye.
Once again, I was joined by Recreation Superintendent Kelly Hyer, talking about those Black History Month events as well as some of their winter events that they have here in West Bloomfield. If you're looking for a creative way to hang out with family and friends, want to create a one-of-a-kind piece of art, or just want to check out the unique studio in Sylvan Lake, you can book your next event or workshop with Board and Brush Studio. I talked with owner Dee Sloan about her creative studio and what some of the projects look like. So let's take a look into the creative studio now. Unleash your creative side this winter and book a private event or workshop at Board and Brush Studio in Sylvan Lake. We talked to owner Dee Sloan about her vibrant business that allows you to bring your one-of-a-kind work of art home with you after a fun-filled time with family and friends.
Okay, yeah, so I actually live in Sylvan, so the location was a no-brainer for me. But I was in the corporate world for 15-ish years and just looking to do something on my own, kind of where I could be in charge of my own schedule. And I've always been a creator, so something in the do-it-yourself world made sense. And I found Board and Brush, which is a small franchise, and decided to take the leap and open my own business. Yeah, we host workshops in our studio, so adult and children, primarily adult, and we have a lot of public events and a lot of private events. So since COVID happened, we definitely are more private event heavy, but we do at least host one public workshop a week, where it means if you want to come join us for a night of creating, you can come by yourself or bring a group of friends, where you don't have to have an entire private event dedicated to just, a larger group. We host birthday parties, bachelorette parties, showers, or just fun nights out. We have a retirement party coming up next week, I believe it is, and a kid's birthday party this weekend. So a lot of different fun options for people from very young to very old.
Dee gave us some insight into what type of projects you can make in the studio.
Our main medium we use is wood, but we also do have do-it-yourself doormat workshops. It's usually wood decor, so think a wood sign or tray or Lazy Susan. We have crates. That's something you would create in a public or private event. The beauty of it is that everybody can choose their own projects, so it's not like everybody in the class is making the exact same thing. Everybody pre-selects their projects ahead of time when they're registering for that event, and everybody can be making something completely different. You're led by an instructor, so you're given step-by-step instructions along with everybody else in the class, and you walk away that same night with your project.
Can't decide which project to go with? Dee's gonna tell us which ones are the favorites.
I would say our most popular is probably trays. People love trays, especially since I feel like the last few years the charcuterie craze is still happening. So we are looking to collaborate with another local business and do a tray making and charcuterie board collab. So keep an eye out for that. But I would say trays are the most popular in our Pick Your Project workshops. And then the kids' classes lately, our mini boxes have been very popular. They have, a variety of different things that they might say. It might have a child's name on the side, or it might be a movie night box, and it could be a s'more station.
If you want to get your creative juices flowing or are looking to plan your next special event, head on down to Board and Brush Studio in Sylvan Lake to hang out with Dee and the rest of your friends. Reporting for the Splash Live, I'm Maddie Muschin. Thank you to Dee Sloan for giving us a look into the creative studio and telling us a little bit about some of the wonderful pieces of art you can make there. Coming up after the break, we will be taking a look at one of the beautiful venues here in West Bloomfield that offers space and in-house services for your next private event and wedding. We talked to Shane Pliska at Plantera about their venue there and what types of services that they will give you if you book an event with them. So don't go anywhere. We'll talk with Shane after the break.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick.
The virus will die.
It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer.
Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine.
To keep safe and strong.
Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to the Splash, live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschin. If you're looking for a picturesque venue to host your next private event or bunnied, Planterra in West Bloomfield is the ideal spot. I got to visit the venue and talk to President of Planterra Corporation, Shane Pliska, about the venue and how they can help you plan your next big event with them. West Bloomfield has one of the most spectacular venues for your private events. Located off of Drake Road, Planterra provides the feel of an outdoor space while being warm and comfortable inside their venue. I talked with President of Planterra Corporation, Shane Pliska, about how winter weddings and private events can benefit from choosing Planterra as their venue.
So we are quite well known in our community as a botanical wedding venue. We host weddings on the weekends here in our beautiful botanical environment. Our in-house team of wedding planners, florists, designers, and such do everything. So we're really a one-stop shop where we are an all-inclusive wedding venue, providing most of the services for a wedding here. So in-house we provide the majority of the planning, the day of coordination. We also assist with the menu as well as the beverage program. We have our, the decor, all the different sources for the decor, everything from the linens to the flatware to the different types of chairs. There's endless design elements that can be incorporated into a wedding here at Planterra.
We also asked Shane what the steps are to planning your floral arrangements with Planterra for your party.
So our floral design process is pretty extensive. So on the planning side, it begins with the couple showing us images of flowers that they like from Pinterest, pretty much. So they create Pinterest mood boards. We then take that inspiration and create a plan. Once the bride and groom or the couple sign off on the plan, we then create a sample. They see the sample in person. And so our in-house flower team does this. And then when it's time for the day or the weekend, our flowers come in direct from either Holland or South America. We process them here in our facility. And what's unique about us is because we do the flowers and the event on site, is we don't have to transport it anywhere else. So quite honestly, our couples get a really great value from a floral perspective from what we do here.
Even during the cold Michigan months, Planterra works to make your event feel cozy and fun. With hardworking, dedicated staff, Planterra is the perfect venue and business to trust with your special event. Reporting from the Splash Live, I'm Maddie Muschin. That's it for today's show. Thank you for everyone for joining me as we explored all the people and events in our greater West Bloomfield community. For all of our friends in Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, Keiko Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Maddie Muschin. Thank you for watching The Splash Live.